Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Jonathan Vertsonis. Welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel, where in today's video I wanted to make this video about making the transition from casual work to the 9 to 5 and just a couple of things that I wish my past self knew before entering the corporate world, and some things that hopefully you guys can take on board as you begin that next season in your working life, which is quite exciting, can also be quite nerve-wracking, but hopefully these couple of tips will go a long way for you guys. So to start off with is, do not be a clock watcher. Okay, that is probably the biggest thing that I think gets the new corporate worker, I think, because obviously when you're working casually, you get paid for the time that you put in. Okay, so like for myself, I was working at a swim school before I entered the corporate world, and it wasn't on a like full-time or part-time contract. It was literally like, you're getting paid casually. So for every hour that I worked, I'd be rewarded for it. Every hour I wouldn't be paid. Perfectly fine. Obviously, like, there's no sick leave and holiday leave and stuff like that as well. So when you're going from that world where like you are getting paid literally by the minute, like if you wanted to leave an hour early for whatever reason, like that's just how it is. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be paid for that. So I think making that transition from that type of mindset into entering the corporate world, I think is one thing I want you guys to just be prepared that depending on the environment that you're in, you may be judged upon it. Okay, I was somebody that when I first started, obviously when I very, very first started in the 9 to 5 world, I didn't obviously have a lot of work to do. So for me, obviously, clocking in at like 9 o'clock on the dot and then leaving at 5 o'clock on the dot, you may think there's like nothing wrong with it. But trust me, I promise you, as you grow and as you progress in your career, people will look at you for that. Okay. Now, it completely depends on the environment. Like, I'll be very transparent. The first job I was in, this was a massive thing. The job I'm currently in, no one cares. Okay. So again, it depends on the environment that you're in. Obviously, it's something for you to suss out the more that you continue in your career and your professional development. But one thing to always be conscious of is just understanding the effort that you put in and the times that you kind of come in and out. Okay. I always advise people, always just be early. Like, never be the guy that's just there on the clock. Always try to get there a little bit, like 15, 20 minutes early. Even if you've got absolutely nothing to do, I still think it is quite important. But in saying that, at the end of the day, if you don't have any work to do, you don't have any work to do. But I think just one thing that I wish I would kind of tell my own self is that in the past is that it's okay to do additional work for, like, it's okay if you know you have something to do a lot of the next day, it's okay to spend an extra 10 to 15 minutes on it that day where you get the work, rather than just waiting until the next day. But again, everybody's different with that. But I think that's just one thing to be conscious of, is when you're entering that new chapter in your life, and when you're entering a new full-time job, there will be people out there that will judge you based on the time that you enter and the time that you leave. And you may think there's nothing wrong with it because you're not going to get paid past 5 o'clock or 5:30, whatever time it says in your contract. But trust me, there are people that will judge. So just something to be conscious of moving forward. But again, only come in, only stay back if you really want to / have to. But just be, again, aware that this is something that does happen, the judgment side of things. So just be conscious of that when you're starting your first job, and just something for you to think about before your day one, okay? Secondly, is keep on track and keep record of everything. Okay, so what I mean by this is that you are obviously going to get assigned work. Okay, you're going to get assigned work, you're going to get assigned projects, and hopefully, if you're in a supportive and a well-structured environment, you're going to have one-to-ones with your bosses or whoever you respond to in the line of action. So you're going to have people to respond to, you're going to have people to work with, and you're going to have to obviously give people updates. Okay, when you're in the corporate world, guys, accuracy is everything. I cannot stress that enough. Attention to detail is the absolute most important thing. Okay, in the corporate world, I'm not even going to say it doesn't, it matters on the individual, because I've got really good coworkers that I work with now, and I love them. They're amazing people to work with. I even know with them, like, I can't half-ass a detail. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be on track of things. You have to be accurate with everything that you do. And it also helps you because, if you're keeping track of everything that you do, they can't make up stuff against you either. And I'm saying that's not in my environment. I'm very lucky. I work in a good supportive environment. But even so, you guys may have a boss that may not like you. You guys may be in an environment where a colleague says one thing and you've done another, but you can't prove it. You can prove it if you just keep track of everything, okay? And just make sure as well that when you're presenting details, whether it's just an update on like something from a meeting or something from a client or something from a customer, whatever it is, like whatever the detail is, just make sure you are accurate and staying on top of things of all times, okay? Don't half-ass the details, okay? Trust me, guys, nothing's gonna be worse than in 6 months' time you have a dilemma and your boss is asking you what happened on this day. We have this client that's pissed off, blah, 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 and you've had to go back in time and you either didn't write notes or the notes are inaccurate, okay? And then unfortunately, the blame goes on you, okay? So just make sure, guys, you are keeping accurate with everything that you do, because trust me, like you cannot half-ass this activity. And trust me, guys, you don't want to build a bad reputation, okay? You should be already doing this anyways. When you're in a casual working environment, you should be keeping accurate with your details anyways. But obviously, I understand some casual jobs, like the I don't even know the word to use it, but I guess like the magnitude of the work, the level of work, or like I guess I'll think of a better word for it as time goes on. But I guess the work that you're doing there, it may not be as high pressure, if that makes sense. Whereas working in a corporate world, you could be working for a nationally recognized company, okay? So the last thing that you're going to want to do is to have these problems come up and you're the face of it, okay? So just keep track of everything and be as reliable and as accurate as possible, because you don't want to harm your own reputation as time goes by, okay? And my third and final point is take on all notes, okay? But ensure that you feel supported, okay? So guys, trust me, when you are entering a new job, the first and most important thing you want to feel is supported, okay? You need to feel like you can ask questions. You need to feel like you can receive feedback and you're going to feel good about it. You know, you need to feel like, you know, if you have a question, it can be answered. Okay, you need to feel these ways, guys. If you feel scared to ask your boss or a colleague a question, if you feel like, you know, you're going to be judged for asking a question, or if you feel like if you ask a question, you're going to get lectured on something rather than educated, get out of there. Okay, get out of there as soon as possible. That is not where you deserve to be, and it's not the environment that you're going to be in to prosper. I promise you that. Okay. Also, on the side of taking on all notes, you're going to receive feedback, because trust me, guys, you're going to fail. There's going to be mistakes. You're going to make errors, big, small, whatever. All right. You're going to make mistakes. Okay. And that's perfectly fine. I've been there. Person watching this has been there. Our parents have been there. Your boss has been there. Everyone you know has been there. All right. Mistakes happen all the time. Okay. But just make sure when you make a mistake and you receive feedback, don't take it personal. Okay. Don't take it personal. Don't get offended. Do not get emotional. Okay. Do not get emotional. All right. Keep it calm. Keep it consciously controlled, and then move forward. Okay. I promise you that is the best way that you are going to go as you continue in your career, is that ability to take on feedback and bounce back from it and rise above it, okay? And ensure in saying that when you're receiving that feedback, when you ask questions and you're asking for more details, that you actually feel supported and connected to the manager, okay? I hope you guys got some value from this video. This is just something that I think is quite important, and I think I just wanted to go in more detail on it essentially to people watching this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Take care. If you are keen to learn more from me and what I have to offer, feel free to click the links below in my bio. I'm more than happy to help you guys on a one-to-one level as well. Take care, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.